What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody's having a great day. Folks, I said that I would talk about another part of Earth that might have been the lost city of Atlantis. And the area I'm talking about is the Ricard structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara or the Eye of Africa. Now, you're going to find a lot of interesting things in this area. First, I'm going to show you the inconsistencies as well as a lot of similarities about how they're covering this area up, just like they do on the moon and Mars. Funny enough, wait until you see the color of the area. Let's just jump right into this, shall we? All right, you can see right here, this is an actual forum. It's called EgyptSearch.com. It says many alternative historians believe that the Eye of Africa, also known as the Eye of the Sahara site in the Sahara Desert, was the location of the ancient city of Atlantis. The alternative historian states that Plato's description of Atlantis matched the Eye of the African site. And of course, it says bright insight. Now, what is bright insight? Bright insight is the video I want you to watch after you see this. Now, it's right here. And you can see, like, this is an artist rendition. But you can see right here, I believe his name is Jimmy. His first name is Jimmy, Bright Insight. And I've seen this video a while back, and you can see it goes back to 2018 here, right? But he does a fantastic job of breaking down the science as well as what Plato had said about Atlantis. Now, keep in mind, Plato got the information about the city of Atlantis from another guy named Solon. Now, Solon got his information from the Egyptian text, and it talks about this large ancient city of Atlantis. What I'm about to show you is really, really interesting. And, of course, the powers that be that took these photos, and you can bet it was NASA or somebody's affiliated with them, and that they went out of their way to 2D it and leave any kind of depth into it. So without further ado, let's just get right into that. This is where I got the photo. You can just right-click on it and snatch the photo yourself. Now, this photo's been on Pinterest and a lot of other sites, right? So based on this photo, I believe this is an ancient city, and you'll see why in a moment. And if it's not Atlantis, it doesn't matter because it is a city one way or the other. And again, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is another artist rendition of what they believe it was. So let's jump right into this. All right, here's the photo here. So what I did was I decided to do like a quick burn to see if there's anything in here that I could find. But let me just show you this real quick right off the bat. Now, it's almost like they made a mistake here and did not take out this piece. Okay? You can see what looks like the color of steel, like a gray shiny color, and you can see it right there. Also, I was looking at these so-called shadows, and I'm not so sure they're shadows. One, these are garbage. This is CGI, okay? They're trying to make them look like walls, but here's the problem. Look at the shadows. Now, this one's not too bad. It does have that little dip in there. You can see it's kind of echoed right here, right? But it's got more of a point, but that's fine. But then you got this one right here. Okay, so even if you go by, well, it's right here. Okay, what about this? Where does this drop off right here? It should go like this. And you don't see that. Nor do you see this hump here. Or the way this is doing this, an abrupt end. You don't see any of that. This should be like, you know, this going like this here should be a dip in this area. And it should be going up like this and then cut down. You don't see that. You don't see that at all. The other thing I was looking at is right here. Now, again, are these shadows or not? I looked at this one here. Okay. I looked at this one here. And I'm not so sure that they're shadows at all. I'll tell you why. There is nothing here that echoes this shape. I don't see anything here going like this. And then casting the shadow onto the ground. I don't see that. Do you guys see that at all? I don't. Funny enough, it does this. Okay, and it has this inside piece right here. Now, what I notice is right here, we have these, what looks like 3 squares, rectangles, small rectangles, whatever they may be. You can see that there. The other interesting thing I noticed was this. You can see something like this. Keep an eye on the lines themselves. This is coming out like this. Okay, but again, look at the lines within this area. Now, this almost looks like it's doing this, and you're going to see this in a moment. Almost looks like it has a square structure right here and comes down in the back. This one as well. It's like they're not shadows, they're structures. Here's some other interesting pieces. I already showed you this here. Okay. Now, if we go to this side here, notice what looks like another wall type thing here. We got something inside here. Okay? We have what looks like these pieces going like this. Going back underneath. There is a ton of things in here to see. In the back here, you can see what looks like something right here. Going like this here. And, of course, you got this going like this. And it looks like there may be structures and all kinds of stuff in this as well. Folks, let me tell you something. Look at this here. This is what's crazy. You can see the intentional blurring right here. You can just see it. It's just crazy how they do this. You can see what looks like some decent detail right here, and then all of a sudden, completely taken out. Okay? Now, let me show you what I did just to do, like I said, a quick preliminary kind of thing. And this is what I had. Now, let's go back into this a little bit. Notice now, you've got these items right here. These are structures, folks. Look at this. The edge of the land masses, or the grounds that these things sit on, right? You've got these things in the back here, what looks like rectangular slots. And you can see that if you look at this right here. Okay. Look like the same width. You can see that. You got something right here on the side of it. And it goes all the way around. Okay. You've got this here. What looks like another wall. And you can see what looks like little supports. All the way around. Check this out right here. As we go towards the inner circle, see something here. Other objects here. Again, we have these, what look like these wall type things, inner walls. And if you look at this wall here, going in and around, almost perfectly. What look like structures in the back here, in the very top in the back. And these other anomalies I was telling you about right here, check that out. Bring this stuff out. Again, I showed this earlier, where it looks like there's walls and all kinds of cool stuff in here. Here in the back, again, look at the wall here. Okay, it goes all the way, it keeps going. We got another inner wall here. Notice this section right here. Now, that appears to be almost one solid piece when you look at the original. See it right in the back here. It looks like one solid piece. But is it? No, it is not. Notice the blurring right here. They did their best to block out whatever's on here. You've got these other pieces here that actually look like they got height to them. And, of course, they're all blurred out, so you can't see the face of them. But look at these pieces in here, folks. Look at this right here. It's like really blurred out, really can't see a whole lot. And then all of a sudden, you have these pieces. What do these lines and these what look like frames remind you of? It looks like Antarctica. Now, a lot of people believe that the city of Atlantis might have been up there. I don't believe that it was. Based on what we were seeing there, I don't think so. It doesn't have the shape or the circumference like this area does. I don't believe that it is, right? Now, let's go into this photo here. And what we're going to do, we're going to enhance it up to here. Now, don't pay attention to the colors. The colors will fool your eyes. Look past the color and look at the shapes that we're seeing in between here. Because you notice this is still going up through, it keeps going up. This one here is the same way. You can see it going up like this. And you can see what looks like structures inside. And all of these pieces within this darker brown color, this here, as I was showing you earlier, there's something here, and I think they just blocked it out. But check out down here. Okay? And it has this shape of the ground here. I don't believe for a moment that, again, this is natural at all. Slide it over here. Still had that piece down here. It looks like that metal color right there. And as we get into this more and more, you can see what looks like piping, structuring, something along these lines. As I stated earlier, what looks like framework and like parts of walls, and you can see it going around. And notice also this right here, this area, how they're intricate, meaning they're going like this under each other. You can see that. Small pieces here and here. Okay. And you've got all of these other shapes. You got what looks like this round dark circle. Folks, it looks like framework, structures, you name it. Let's do a black and white here so it does not mess with your eyes. So now that the colors are not there, have a look at these areas here. Look at these structures now. And then these parts in the back. And you can see a little bit inside these areas. That's why I don't believe that they are shadows. Now, don't get me wrong. If they are shadows, then there's something in the shadows. You've got something right here. Looks like this thing comes up and out of it. Again, we're looking in between and into the blur where they're hiding this stuff. We've got these areas over here. Take your magnifier. If you're on your phone or your tablet, whatever it may be, have a closer look. Now, you're not going to see everything clearly, and nor are you going to see every single detail because this wasn't meant to be seen. Again, we have this area here. I showed you a little bit better where it really stood out. You've got this vertical blurring right here. You see where they try to get rid of all of this. Okay. Back out. Now, there's mixed reports about this. Some say it's 25 to 30 miles. Some say 32 miles or 50 kilometers wide. Now, to me, that's a fairly big city as far as I'm concerned. It's just wild, the stuff that's actually in here. Stuff in the back here at the top. Again, looks like we have these kind of wall areas. Like it's closed in over here. And I'm going to show you a little bit better. There's some other stuff in the background as well, a little bit more detail inside here. Okay. Now let's go back to the actual colored version and we're going to do a full enhancement. Now, just looking into this, again, we have what looks like these framework of this thing sprawling out to the outer edges. We have these structures within this so-called natural feature on Earth, and I don't believe that's the case at all. Have a look at this right here, and look at the inside of this. See that? Let me just move it in a hair bit. We have other pieces over here. Right here. Again, this object right here, this has got to be very large. We have pieces that are raised now off the ground. You can see it's got height as opposed to a flat ground, which virtually looks like nothing. But yet you can still see these. If I go back and forth, you can still see all of these features. They're just brought out so much more, so much better. Okay, let's slide it over and check this out. Again, I'm going to jockey back and forth. Look at these parts all in here. Take a good look. I'll go slow. All of these pieces of hair, I just brought the depth back. So anything that was dark was brought out. Anything that was lighter, we made a hair bit lighter just so we can actually separate the darker areas from the lighter areas or the lighter objects, right? And you can see this. Look at this. It's crazy just what's in this photo. If you were to go to the center here, take a look at anything in here, and I'll go back and forth. Notice how we can see the blurring here. Here. And when we enhance this, this is what happens. You can still see the blurring right there. Pretty darn good. And this area here. You can see there's lines coming up in this thing. I'm not sure what that does, but you can see the blurring that they put in here. These areas here look like they stand up quite high. So I don't know. Now, some people said, well, and I've read this, people said, well, you can actually go to this area. I promise you this stuff's not here. Well, are they actually going into the middle of this, or are they just on the outskirts? Keep in mind, there's nothing but desert that surrounds this area. Now, the pictures I did see look like structures, and they were basically stone structures, right? Like made from whatever they could find, at least the ancient people could find in that area. And it looked like a couple, walls and stuff, what was left over from a structure. These here look totally different. Now, this is what happened when you bring it out. When you really put it to the max. Again, look at the details inside here. Look at the back right here. And again, we have these walls, folks. Check this out. Coming all the way around. Other walls right here, going all the way around. Check that out. Now, look at the depth of these things. Look at the objects in between these walls. This is not natural. This, to me, could very well be the city of Atlantis. That's my opinion. I want to hear what you guys got to say, because there's so much in here. My God. Look at the way they did this. Pretty decent, detailed, all of a sudden, complete blur. Okay? And you can see all these other objects in here, which are really odd. I'm not sure what to make of those. Right there. Now, let me show you something interesting. If we pull way back out of this photo. Right here. You got this section right here. Now, pay close attention to the bottom, what looks like walls. Check this out. Looks like some kind of round, small piece there. Well, when I say small, remember, we are looking at quite a big area. And you can see, again, what looks like walls. What is going on here? See that? And it goes right across here. There's something right here. Almost looks like an arch. You can see that right here. And there's pieces coming out to it. Keeps going. Okay. You can see this kind of goes down, whereas the other photo, and I'm going to show you this in a minute. You see other, what looks like walls or spaces down here. And you can see there's white details in here. So this is not all ground. There's things being hidden under here. Now, let's have a look again. I'm going to back out. See that? Now, check out this photo here. Notice the walls on the very bottom of this photo. Notice the walls. Again, walls here on the circular part of the city. Again, 3 sections of water and the middle section, as well as the 2 sections of land. But notice the rings around them and notice the walls. Now, this one goes up inside as opposed to what I'm seeing here. It almost looks like it's coming down and outside. Let's go into this all the way here. Let's go into the black and white here a minute. And just check it out, folks. Look at this. The more I got into this photo, I was just like blown away, because what's in this photo, and like I said, I'll go to the max here. You can see beyond the blur, if you look between these other lines, like I said, these walls, it looks like walls. And just look between them. You can see what looks like objects and little structures and whatever else may be here, right? Look at that. Incredible as far as I'm concerned. Again, going back to the shadows, I don't believe these are shadows at all. I think these are actual structures. And this is what you're seeing here. And notice, like, the ground that's around them appears to be shaped. Purposely shaped. There you go. And again, we still have this other item here. Right here, I think they made a boo-boo. And there's something black right next to it. See it right there? but it appears to almost be like this wall here. And again, it has that silverish, like metal color, right? And again, it looks eerily like Mars, the orange color, or almost reddish. And if you think about it, what is one of the colors that colorblind people can't see too well? Reddish, like an orange. The further mess with your eyes, and that's what it comes down to. I'm going to go from left to right, let you guys have a look. Get out your magnifiers and pause it where you like. Again, look at the inner circle. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of spot blurring and everything else that they tried to hide. I think things that were much taller. I see structures. I see framework. What's cool about this is this here. If you look at little areas like this, well, when I say little, I may not be little, but check this out. You got what looks like a round structure, a dome type thing right there. You've got this more shiny, what looks like a structure. Looks like something right here on it, and maybe almost a half round circle there. But you can see that, right? This right here, popping out like this. But it looks to be inside a round circle. See that? Right there. Got another one here. Got this piece right here. It looks like we have this piece with something sticking up on there. See that? But, again, structures, it appears to be structures on the back side of this. Flip over to the other enhanced photo, and look at these objects here in the back. Here. And again, have a look at the rings in here. I believe these almost look a certain distance apart, all the way from beginning to end. And again, we have all these what look like structures inside this area. And again, we can see this ring part or framework, rail type thing going all the way around. Right there. Will look like flatter areas here, but we got half gray and half white here. But you can see how it also goes around as well, right? Just too coincidental, folks, that these things are here. It looks like a pipe right here. And looks like framework of something that's like everything's coming into this main area. See that? I see there's something around there, but this goes like this. We have pieces going down like this here, going across. And we have something smack dab in the middle where all of this stuff seems to come together. The weird shapes, folks. What looks like pipes, structures. Now keep in mind, how long ago was this here? It goes back thousands of years. Has it been weathered? Has it been flooded at one point? Like basically mud flashed over it and just splashed onto it. How do we know? There's the whole photo there, folks. Have another look. Pause it. Look at it really carefully with your magnifiers. Tell me what you see. Folks, again, click on the link after this and have a look at the other video where he gets into the real science part of this and puts it all together. And it really does sound like this is actually the lost city of Atlantis. The more you get into this and bring out the depth of that, that's not flat ground there, folks. That is structures and structural, like supports and things that came out from the center out to the edge. Now, let's say I'm completely wrong, and it's not the lost city of Atlantis. It doesn't matter. It still looks structural. It still looks like there's structures all over inside this ringed area. So either way you look at it, if it's not Atlantis, it's another city they're hiding from the public. You and I. Anyway, folks, give me your take on it. What are you seeing here? Drop your comments down below. If you see something I did not point out, and I'm sure there's a ton of it, because I didn't go through every detail in the photo, just leave a timestamp. Tell me what you see so that we can all see this thing, right? Folks, please like and share the video. It is always appreciated. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it. Folks, got some more crazy stuff coming up. I have more Antarctica, and I've got more Mars. In fact, I got 2 more Mars coming, and I've got another moon coming, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Always appreciated, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.